What's up, YouTube? This is Rashawn Baldwin White, RB Dubs, back with another video.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Now, I know it's been a while since I did the last video. I did 2 videos last week, so I decided to take, the week before last, and I decided to take a break last week for a video because, I've been so piled up with exams and papers, and, it's coming down to the wire here at school. So, I've been very busy with work and stuff like that, so I decided to take a break from making a video, but I'm back. And the topic for this week is, that's one that's very big and one that is very important, especially here at the school I attend, Union College. So on this video, I will be talking about the Title IX case that has been running rampant here at school, and the school, Union College, is actually being sued for their mishandling of the sexual assault case that was brought to them about a year ago. And I just wanted to talk about this case and also share some of my own opinions. In this video, I will be referencing some points in a report that was sent to me. This is actually a court report that was sent to me, and I will be referencing some points to it. And I will also link the report in the description box below so that you guys could read it yourselves. To start off, talking about the basic premises of the case, the plaintiff, Jane Doe, was sexually assaulted on the night of September 3rd, 2017. Give a brief overview of the details. The plaintiff attended a fraternity party with some friends. The fraternity that held the party was the fraternity TD Chi. She had some alcohol with her friends in preparation for the party, and she also had some while at the party as well. So what happens is she decides to go to the bathroom while at the party, and the defendant, the assaulter, the person who assaulted her, is the one that shows her where the bathroom is. Now let it be known that the person that raped her and assaulted her was not a member of the fraternity itself, but was attending the party. And he showed her where the bathroom was, and she went in, she did what she had to do, and when she came out, the defendant, they refer to him as Defendant Rowe, he was still outside the bathroom when she came out. Proceeded to make small talk with the plaintiff Jane Doe. This led to them talking about marijuana. Now, the plaintiff made it clear that she does smoke, but she has not in a while. And they proceeded to both agree that they would go back to the defendant Rowe, his apartment, to just smoke. Before agreeing to this, the plaintiff, she had tried to text her friends to see where they are, but then she had gotten word that they had already left the party. And so they go to his apartment, they smoke on his terrace, and eventually the mixture of the drugs and the alcohol eventually starts to get to Jane Doe, and it starts to affect her body, and this is when it leads to her being raped. Just wanted to give some points, give some opinions on some of the points made in the reports and on the case itself. The biggest problems of the case is not only the event that happened itself, which is wrong in itself, but also how the event was mishandled by the school. One point that I specifically wanted to speak on is indeed the members of TD Chi have been publicly described as party animals with a reputation that they can't get laid consensually, so they feel the need to spike drinks and pressure girls. And another point that was made was, upon information and belief, the members of TD Chi hold a long-standing reputation for targeting female partygoers with spiked drinks in an effort to take advantage of them after the effects of the drugs and alcohol have set in, a practice commonly known as date rape. Despite this pattern of behavior, the college has done little to nothing to rectify TDK's fostering of sexually dangerous party culture, choosing instead to ignore the issue and allow its female students to assume the risk of becoming victims of sexual violence, assault, and harassment on and off campus. So I believe that the points that the points I just referenced were very important. Everyone knows that fraternities are known for being a huge force behind, rape culture. And, a lot of people will disagree with me and say that, oh, it's unfair to say that, fraternities are, highly responsible for what happens at these parties. And, you can't blame the fraternity for what happens between two people, at one of their parties, especially when none of the people involved are members of the fraternity. Now, my answer to that is this. Fraternities still have, as an organization, they still have to hold some accountability. And I believe that they still have to be responsible for what goes on at those parties. And I also believe that they can't be completely eliminated from the conversation, even though it just so happens that the two individuals, the two individuals involved are not direct members of the fraternity. I still believe that they have a responsibility to know what happens at those parties and to take control of the events that are carried out at those parties. And this is not to come at any individual members, of the fraternity, but it's just to say that there should be some type of accountability and there should be some type of responsibility taken by the fraternity when conducting these parties, especially knowing that there is already a bad reputation against fraternities for, not properly, being responsible for these parties and allowing events such as this to happen. Going back to the mishandling of the sexual assault case, which is an even bigger issue, the day after that she was assaulted, plaintiff Jane Doe, after she was assaulted by assaulter Rowe, as he's referred to in the report, she reports it to Melissa Kelly. Now let's also say that it should be said that it's very hard, as we know, it's very hard for victims to come out and say what happened to them, and that's already a big step that they take, and that's already a big decision that they make within themselves to do that. So that has to be acknowledged. And she came to the Title IX coordinator, Melissa Kelly, and all Melissa Kelly told her to do was go to the Wicker Wellness Center after being told about this assault that happened towards the plaintiff. And as far as we know, Melissa Kelly did not take any further steps in, investigating the report, and all she did was to go to the wellness center. After this, the plaintiff goes through her first few months at union, in which she is, continues to be, bothered and, mentally by her assaulter Rowe. He continues to, embarrass her in public, and he continues to text her and contact her on social media. And even when she blocks him on social media, he still finds ways to get in contact with her after the assault. That in January, the plaintiff submitted a written report, and the assaulter Rowe was actually given access to the statement that the plaintiff submitted, which is in direct violation of the college's policy for these situations. So that just shows one point as to how the case is being mishandled. Furthermore, after this report was put through, which is when they began to conduct interviews. Now, what's important to note is that what they should have done was conducted an interview with the plaintiff Jane Doe first, but to, learn further details about, the statement that she put through. But instead, they interviewed assaulter Roe first, the investigators did, which also shows a blatant mishandling of this case, not allowing the plaintiff to further clarify on the events that she talks about in her statement. The last point I want to make from the report itself is that in every Title IX matter, union holds a pre-hearing in any Title IX case. The plaintiff is supposed to be provided with the necessary materials for this hearing. And for this hearing, she goes before a panel in which she discusses the events of that night and what happened to her. And each, the defendant and the assaulter, are supposed to be provided with a packet which contains vital material in which she is supposed to use to reference in order to give answer the questions of the hearing panel properly. And we just shows another case in which, not another case, but another point in this case in which the case was not handled correctly, because the assaulter was given all the, proper materials to conduct this hearing conference correctly, while the plaintiff was giving none of her materials. Last point I wanted to make in reference to the report, I just want to go ahead and, give my own opinion on everything that's happening with this, and to say that it's just sad to hear that, the school is handling this case so irresponsibly and is not doing their jobs properly when it comes to handling this case the way it's supposed to be handled. Now, unfortunately, this is something that happens all around the world. We see where the school is not handling these cases the way they should be in order to protect their image, and especially when this case is going against a big part of the school like Greek life, or even like a lot of examples we've seen is like sports. A lot of these cases are against sports players. Even the assaulter in this case was a member of the soccer team, and that's just something that's happening all around the states, and it's horrible to hear. And I just hope that I am fully in support of Jane Doe, and I hope that this case is conducted properly, and that I think the people who are in charge of handling this case should probably step down. I think they should. I think it'd be more appropriate if they step down, because they're just not, we can see they're not conducting their jobs correctly. And, as a student that goes to this school, it's just sad to hear that we have administration that is not, directly supporting Jane Doe, directly supporting this person as they should. And that's just something that's sad to hear. And like I said, I support Jane Doe, and I believe that the administration that irresponsibly conducted this case should step down. And that's what I wanted to talk about with this video. Like I said, I'll link the report in the description so that you guys could check it out for yourselves and read it for yourselves. It's pretty lengthy, but I do think that, you guys would, get a lot out of it. And I want to thank everyone for watching this video. I hope you guys will, use the hashtag I support Jane Doe, or we support Jane Doe, to show your support in this matter. And like I said, this is just sad to hear. This is Sean Bone White. I'm signing out. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.